back to the channel. I'm Tammy.
Hey, I'm Leanna. Today we're diving into the top 10 things you should cancel or compare to start saving money.
Yes, if you're looking to stretch your dollars, this is where you can start. Let's clean up that budget and find those hidden leaks. So we can talk about the top 10 things to cancel or compare to save big money. Leanna, what do you have?
So I canceled Prime on Amazon, so I don't have Prime anymore, which also created a thing where I don't shop on Prime anymore, really, and don't watch any of the videos. So that was one way. And then I ended up getting a T-Mobile account where I got Netflix for free. So I have Netflix through that. And then I also have another streaming channel through my work that I get for free. So I only use it if it's free. And part of the reason is if you're watching streaming services and you don't have enough money, it's time to start a YouTube channel or do something in your off time to make more money. So you could give up the streaming services and start a YouTube channel about something you're interested in that would make you some money.
Yeah, that's really a good idea. I know that's what we're doing. So, and also you can pick one or two of those streaming services that you have, and you can actually actually use and pause or cancel them. I know that for Netflix, I get so aggravated with them because it's like the same old movies every month. And then also I have like a pet peeve on the videos that don't sync their voices like are dubbed, and that bothers me so much. I sometimes cancel Netflix just because it's just the same old movies. But when my favorite series, I know they're coming back on, I re-up my Netflix and they're more than happy to just reinstate my subscription. So I don't feel bad for so I don't feel bad for canceling them for a couple months and let it just sit back. And also I use my, I look on my credit card and my phone carrier because they have perks for free subscriptions. So make sure you check your phone, like your phone carrier or even your credit cards. They might have some perks that you can get, some free subscriptions. Also, for cell phone plans, are you paying $100 a month for unlimited everything when you only use 5 gigs? There's just way too many carriers now that you can really shop around for savings. So many plans have a 55 and over rate. So be sure to check about any discounts that they have. They're not going to talk about them unless you ask. So always, anything that you are subscribing for or getting into, ask them, hey, is there a discount for 55 and over? You'll be surprised on the added discounts and free subscriptions for streaming that they can offer. But make sure, this is what I do, because with my phone carrier, I got some free ones. I set a timer on my phone, a reminder to cancel, and I put it also in my written planner. And I put it 2 months out. Don't forget next month, to cancel because you don't want to have.
That's a brilliant idea to put it on a timer.
Yeah. So, and then also I had a separate cell phone bill and a separate internet bill, and I was paying so much. So I looked into it and I found out if I canceled my internet and went to my phone that was now streaming, had internet services, and so I bundled it together and I saved a ton of money. And by doing that, they gave me a $250 gift card and a free year of streaming. So that's some free money just waiting for you. And T-Mobile was a great service in my area. They also have the free Wi-Fi on many airlines. So an international plan is amazing. Do you know that when I land into another country and the first thing I get on my phone is welcome to whatever country, T-Mobile has free texting for you, is amazing for me. Because I see on a lot of travel sites, people asking, what type of international plan do you use? Because other companies charge a lot when you go international. T-Mobile, there's no charge for most of the countries that we go to. So that's a bonus for me. So I know that, yeah.
Go ahead, you finish, and then I have a question for you.
Yeah, it's just especially when you're on a plane, and the next thing you know is they don't have the screen on the back of the TV, on the back of the seat, and you're stuck to your phone to watch a movie, and then they charge you to get on their Wi-Fi. So with T-Mobile, a lot of airlines, it's free.
So let's step back a minute to the streaming services part of it. How can you research what you actually have signed up for in case you've forgotten?
Yeah, we're actually going to be talking about that our next video about going into the apps. How many times do we see on our um, debit transaction 99 cents, $1.99? You're like, what was that? And then you just kind of think, oh, I'm going to look about that later, and you forget. And then next month you have another 99 cents, $1. We're going to talk about that. It's a good idea.
Okay, so car insurance. So don't auto renew. On your car insurance, prices change all the time, so you should always compare. I was with State Farm for a long time and ended up switching to Progressive, and it reduced my insurance bill by about 50%. So, just we don't have customer loyalty anymore because the companies don't seem to reward people for longevity.
Yeah, that's so funny because we were talking earlier about same thing happened for me, and I was shocked, kind of surprised that it was the same scenario. I had State Farm, I had been with them forever, and I, just kept renewing, and I said, wow, how come I keep going up? I'm accident free, ticket free. So I went online and I did some comparisons and found that I could save 50% too by going with Progressive, and I was surprised. I thought it was just me, but for you too, you were successful. So yeah, shop around every 6 months or at your renewal time. Bundle your home and auto for extra savings. It's a really good, great option. Take that leap, go onto your computer and do some research. And also look at your coverage. I realized that over the years, I still had the same coverage, from 10 years ago. And my car is much older now. And I was, I'm kind of overinsured on my trusty older car. So, but I did give, I did State Farm the option to try to match my new plan. They appreciated it, but they told me they couldn't. So that gave me even more validation to move on. So it's just a great idea to check your plans.
Yeah, so one of them, a big one for me was AAA. I always carry AAA because I was traveling a lot in my RV and working all across the country. Now that I'm staying put in my RV, I've canceled the AAA. I'm not traveling any kind of length of distance. I think a one tow truck trip would not kill me, and I just don't want to keep a subscription. And be careful because everybody wants you to auto renew, and that's the trick. And that's why they give you a discount for auto renewing, because you'll forget about it, never use AAA or whatever kind of service for years that you've paid into it simply because you've forgotten about it.
That's so true. And that's a really good point because I had AAA and I hardly ever used it or never used it for years and years and years. But with my new Progressive, I have the roadside service. So that gave me more reason why to get rid of the AAA. So that's another thing to check on your plan. You might already have it in your plan, you don't even know, and you can cancel the roadside service AAA subscriptions. There's a thing with the subscription boxes. Have you ever signed up for beauty boxes, snack boxes, pet boxes? They have everything, and it's kind of like a theme thing, and you're like, oh, that looks really cute. I know there's even a box that has international snacks that you might want to give.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's cute and it's fun and everything, but it adds up, those reoccurring charges. So just make sure that it's something that you really, really desperately need, because sometimes you open your cabinet and you're like, oh my gosh, I have all these beauty products and you can only use so many. Check that out. Make sure it's something that you really, really need, you really, really use, and it might be an idea time. Just say, you know what, I got to cut those subscription boxes. Cut them out.
It's not only are they eating into your wallet, it's also cluttering up your house.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
I mean, it's one more thing to worry about and pay for, and you probably don't need it anyway. I mean, you just don't need it. So I was in my RV, and then I took a regular corporate type job and moved into an apartment. And I had that lease for 7 months, did not like living in an apartment, and I moved out and back into my RV. And you can't believe the stuff I threw away just because I think I had the space, right, for the stuff.
That's so true.
So anyway, fight clutter. Get rid of your subscription boxes.
Yes.
And then also gym memberships. So you're not using your gym membership, you ought to cancel it. And before you start a gym membership, try buying some dumbbells at home and trying to work out at home to see if you'll even commit to that. If you can't commit to a few basic exercises at your house, you're probably not going to show up at the gym either. And it would save you probably, what, $25 to $50 a month on a gym membership.
Yeah, I think I saw a study about the gym memberships that if it's not within 1 or 2 miles to your home, you're not going to go. It's just too much. To get up and get out of your house to go anywhere. So gym memberships are big. I know that we've all been there, done that, where you're thinking, okay, this is the time I'm going to work out, get in shape, and get to the gym. For me, my biggest problem is I get there and I don't know what to do. The machines, and you're doing the right amount, or you're doing the right way, and then that's another expense because you have to pay somebody to come help you learn what to do. I've really cut back on that and just cancel those gym memberships and go online. There's so many different online YouTube exercise programs for anything that you want to do. You can put in a 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, hour, whatever you
That's
want,
right.
from yoga to chair to any type. Just you want to just do your abs. Whatever you want, it's there. I really recommend that to check out that. Or just get out and walk. Walking is amazing for your body, and you can do it by yourself. Put on your some music or a podcast and just go get some fresh air. Maybe ask your friends, see if they want to go, and get out there and exercise. Yeah, so then we can also talk about cable or satellite TVs. I know we had talked about some internet and streaming, so paying $150 for cable, just cancel that. That's way too much.
Yeah, you can use a streaming device like Roku or a Fire Stick and maybe get some free channels or cheaper streaming bundles. But maybe do what I did and I just gave up on TV.
Yeah.
And I have these streaming Netflix and Paramount, but only because it's free, and I really don't watch them that often. It's like what you were saying earlier. I only like British television, like British Bake Off and Vera and those kind of shows. I'd rather have a subscription to BBC, which you can't really get, because it takes so long for the new shows to come out. You have to cancel, right? And then you wait 8 months before your new shows come back. So I've just kind of given up on it.
It's so funny because you think you have 10 million channels to select from, and you watch the same things. I'm like, I watch Survivor, Amazing Race, and just a couple silly shows, and that's it. And then you stress yourself out. So just get rid of it. You're not going to miss it, and you save all that money.
So another one on our list is magazine and newspaper subscriptions. Tammy knows some people, but I don't know anyone anymore that gets a magazine or a newspaper delivered to their house. But I guess it still's happening. I mean, I don't even think newspaper delivery where I live is an option.
Yeah.
I don't even ever see a newspaper.
Yeah, it seems like it is kind of getting archaic, but there are people who still like to have that delivery and they want to hold it in their hands. But if you find that you are paying for a subscription for a magazine delivery or a newspaper and you're not reading them and they're just kind of stacking up and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to read it, I'm going to catch up, and you're not, it's time to cancel that subscription and go online. You can go digital. Libraries offer magazines.
But digital's not free. So I used to have a subscription to the New York Times because I like the New York Times, but I also like their puzzles. But I think I was up to I don't remember, maybe it was like $12.95 or $21.95. I can't remember now. And like a year ago, I canceled it. I don't need to read the news because I don't think it's very uplifting, and I didn't want to. I don't know if you have to pay for the puzzles. I just got rid of it. But there's another subscription to think about online, right?
Yeah, they if you can compare the price for the home delivery and the digital, because I think they have different levels what you can get for the digital. But like I said, it's more things. If you're just stacking them up, just cut it. You don't need it. You go to the library They have the library at the library. They have the newspaper there for free to read, and also they have all the magazines that you can either read them there or check them out. So I know we had talked about food delivery apps. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Everyone is trying food delivery. I know, Leanna, you like that because you are super busy, and sometimes people get it because they're just bored, or even they have those midnight cravings and they don't want to drive. But those deliveries have fees, service charges, and tipping, and it adds up.
Yeah, so food delivery is a big thing for me. Say it again, I'm super busy. Grocery shopping at the store stresses me out, but I'm doing it because I'm trying to save money. I think it's worth it to put the time in. And also, you have a delivery fee with the groceries, and you should tip $1 an item. Like if you order 20 items, you should be giving that driver a $20 tip. So that really adds up. If you can't afford to do that, I don't know. I mean, some people have to have. So let's talk about the negatives. Cost of food delivery, right? It's too expensive. Restaurant food delivery, I don't know. I have to balance that out in my head. If you're going to a nice restaurant and you get filet mignon for dinner, and then you have to tip the waitress and you have to drive there, I think if you're going to a better restaurant, I think it might be equal. But if you're going to McDonald's, you're adding like $7 onto that meal. I don't know that that's worth it. But I'm a believer in food delivery. Like I had a back injury and I couldn't hardly get out of my house, let alone get in and out of the car. So grocery and restaurant delivery saved me for that. And way back when I delivered for Walmart Spark. It was my favorite job ever. And I delivered to a lot of homebound people, which really, it was helping them in their life because they could get groceries where before it was a real burden on other people. So there's pros and cons to food delivery, but for the budget right now, I'm giving it up.
Yeah, there's definitely the pros and cons, and you have to look at your, everybody's situation. It might be the most, beneficial thing, during that time that you need, like for injuries and homebound to get that delivery. I know for my parents, sometimes I'm not able to, if I can't get the meals to them or if they need something extra, it's great just to have that delivery, and
Yeah.
it's a special treat. So it just depends on what what situation you are in, and we definitely look at that. And I think that there's also, now that I think of it, that I see a lot of times on my credit cards that they have promotions at the bottom that you can click on, and there's like 100 things that you can save money on. And there's a lot of delivery things on there. I never use them because I never use it. But that's something I want to look into because they have like for Ubers, Lyft, they have a 10%, 15, 20% discount.
Yeah, and another thing, I would rather do curbside for my grocery shopping because if I go into the store, I've added $20 to $30 onto my grocery bill. I really have to focus on the list, but I could just get on the app and request curbside pickup, and then I'm not going in there and getting it. It's like an accountability partner, the app.
Yeah, I love that because you can just go on, take your list, go on, do your shopping cart, hit shop, and then somebody shops it for you, and then you know what time, when to go pick it up. You open your trunk, they load it up, you take it home. So that kind of takes out a lot of time, a lot of stress. And how many times have we want to go off of our shopping list, and that makes our budgets go crazy. So I think I'm going to try that. I've never done it, but I know people who have. So I'm going to give it a try to see how I like it. So now you've been.
I went into Publix the other day, and they're over by the deli case. There was a lady giving away samples, and it was this hot buffalo chicken spread stuff, and she put it on Hawaiian rolls.
Oh
that stuff was so good. I didn't buy it, but man, I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like they're tempting you at every.
Yes, anything on a Hawaiian roll. It's got my name on it.
So anyway, and then let's get around to credit cards, which everybody knows credit card fees are high and the interest rate is high. And all the money gurus tell you you need to pay off your credit cards before you do anything because you're just throwing your money away. So I basically agree with that. I believe in having your money in your savings account before you pay off your credit cards so you have some cushion. But that's just me. But anyway, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, it's really true to try to pay off, and I know that you can call your credit card companies, and ask them, hey, I've been a long time customer and I need a break on the interest, and you'll be surprised that they will lower them. Have you ever tried that?
I have, but they didn't lower it.
They didn't lower it for you?
No,
Yeah.
with Bank America. It was with Bank America, and I've been with Bank America for years now. This has been 10 years or so ago.
Yeah.
And I paid off that credit card, and I canceled the credit card and changed banks.
There you go. Well, I would too. So just, give it a try. They lost a customer, and that might be something that they have learned their lesson. So with other people doing that. So just take a few minutes, look at your credit card rates, call companies, ask them, see what they'll say. And you know what? That might mean that you're going to do away with a credit card. They're going to lose a customer. And also look for credit cards that have no fees or even cash back. You can use the bank's cards. Don't let them use you. So I like to use the NerdWallet to compare rates, cash back, and other incentives. NerdWallet is a really great site to check that because it has side-by-side comparisons, and it'll tell you the difference between each one. You can even, if there's 20 different cards, you can check 3, and then they will do a side-by-side comparison for each one on their rates, their incentive fees, any things like that. So just really try to pay down your credit cards, and you might even want to, if you have a lower credit card, definitely pay your higher rates first, and then after you do that, then go to your lowest balance and try to pay off those quickly and just get rid of that low balance one, and then you can put all that money back to the higher one.
My goal is to pay off my credit card, and I'm getting rid of it.
There you go.
And I'm not gonna use credit cards because it's a trick. No matter what you do with your credit card, they're like, oh yeah, you get points, you get this, you get that. Well, you have to be really, I think, really strict on yourself to not keep a balance. And I think if you can go with a credit card and not have a balance, that's great. I know I can't.
Yeah.
So
it's tough. So also you can call and ask about promotions or see if competitors offer a lower rate. These are on your internet and utility bills. Just make sure that you check around. And also, do you know that if you have a deposit on your utility company and that you've made your on-time payments for a certain amount of time, usually around 18 months, maybe 2 years, then you can ask for a refund of your deposit.
oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know, I've been living here forever, and I'm like, when I get my bill, it'll say, oh, interest on your deposit, 2 cents or whatever, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've had that deposit on there forever, and I called them, and I said, can I get my deposit back? And they said, sure. Now they ask you if you want it on, yeah, and they ask you, was like $250. Do you want it on your?
You've been in your house 30 years, haven't you?
Well, not that long, almost about 17. And so, but they'll say, do you want it on, as a credit on your bill, or do you want it as a check? And so I just said, you just put it on my bill. And so it was kind of nice not to have a bill for, a couple months. So it's a great way to save some money. Just check, you might have a deposit sitting there that you can get a refund on.
Yeah. And then, adapting to the weather where you live so you can run less like AC, right? I don't have I don't have a problem using less heat, but I cannot go without the AC. Now, there was a time when I lived in Florida, I could tolerate the heat, but I can't tolerate the heat now. So, but I can tolerate the cold. So I use way less heat than most people in the winter, where you use way less AC in the summer.
Yeah, I've kind of acclimated myself to. Now, there's times when I, what, get the air conditioner really blasting, but usually I keep it, at a certain rate, and it keeps my utility bills low. And so it's just, something that it's just me, and I don't need to have it, blasting a whole house. So I, just try to look at ways I can save, a dollar, a couple dollars here. I mean, it adds up. I mean, from, $100 a month to $175 or $200 a month, that's, a lot of money. So to double it.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
I really had to think back. So when I was in college and lived in Florida, and that was a long time ago, I did so much outside with horses that I didn't need the AC, but I'm just not at that point right now.
Yeah.
So, you just have to balance out, I guess, right?
That's right. So there you have it. We talked about 10 things that you can cancel or compare prices and start saving money. So just look at some of the bills that you have that are reoccurring each month, and look at ways that you can either call the company and ask for discounts, or look at things that you can compare. So don't be afraid to compare the prices to save money. If it's a significant difference, it's going to be worth to change.
Yeah. Anything else, T?
Yeah, so I just think that we're here to try to help you save some money, and because we are in the same boat, we're looking at everything that we can do to save money, because we have our goals, we have plans, we have things that we want to do, and so if we can save a little bit of money here and there, it helps us reach our goals. And I know we want to help you with yours as well. And you can
drop a comment below, ask us any questions you want to ask, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button.
Yes, make sure you comment, let us know how we're doing, what you want to hear, any other comments. We love to have our feedback, and we really appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you. Have a good day. See you next video.
See you next time.